What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. So DL Hughley has not even waited a full 24 hours before weighing in on Monique in her interview with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay. He is definitely in his feelings, okay? I feel like he's still upset from the Cat Williams interview, even though, if memory serves me correctly, he was actually the only one of the original Kings of Comedy that was spared. I don't think that he talked about DL Hughley. He talked about how much he, admired Bernie, how Cedric stole his joke, and how Steve was essentially a sellout. But anyway, allegedly, because yeah, Steve is petty and I don't need that smoke. But I want y'all to hear what DL has to say because he really went gutter, in my opinion. But I'll let you guys hear from him, and then I will give my commentary at the end. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Club Shay Shay is getting messier and messier. It's almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a wave set. And so Monique was on. Every time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy ass video with her and her daddy complaining about something or working out. I don't know nobody that work out that much and gain weight unless every crunch you do has got Captain in front of it. But apparently she goes on Club Shay Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time. And my co-host, Jasmine Sanders, played a game that we played all the time with everybody called Would You Rather. She apparently was so offended by that she said she got off. She called me. Monique did, and she said I was very dismissive, like, Monique's a liar. When Monique did call me, I heard her complaints, I listened to her, and I pulled the segment. So if I had been as dismissive as she alleges I was, that segment would have aired. It didn't because I respected her wishes. She's a liar. It's also befuddles the shit out of me how somebody who as a comedian talks as much shit about everybody else as she does. She has the temerity to be offended about anything as much shit as you say about people. Then she encouraged everybody, allegedly it stems from the fact that I used to always talk shit about her on video after video, and she encouraged her sweet babies to look at the video and find them. Do that. Do exactly what she says. And you know what you're not going to find? You're not going to find any evidence of that because Monique is a fucking liar. She's lying about that. But what you will find is Monique talking shit about some alleged contract dispute we had. Look at the ticket. It says D.L. Hughley, then Monique. She knows the story. But what she did in response to that, she talked about my dog, my wife. This broad even brought out my daughter's personal trauma. My daughter was molested, and Monique brought that shit out and told the world that I allowed my daughter to be raped in front of me. The lying motherfucker. She knows she was lying. And it only stopped when everybody from my family checked her. It's interesting. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? You won't ever see her with her family, videos with her children or grandchildren, because nobody fucks with me. How do you have sweet babies when your own babies don't fuck with you? How do you love us for real when there's no evidence of anybody loving you for real, except your daddy, who you apparently have to pay? And FYI, daughters are paid for by daddies, not daddies who get paid by their daughters. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? Telling jokes. Monique, if she'd have spent as much time actually writing jokes and writing her Netflix special as she did complaining about not having one, it wouldn't have been trash. It got the worst reviews of any Netflix special in history. Because that's what Monique does. She complains and she has grievances. You never see her being a human being. You never see her being sweet and warm to people. Except when she's using it to butter somebody up to get something. There's a reason why everywhere she goes, shit starts. Everywhere she goes. How is it that nobody fucks with you? Not even your family. How do you... Or I was on the road, get it. I get it every goddamn week. Look at my schedule versus yours. See how much I'm going. And I still manage to have a relationship that I cherish with my children. Can you say the same? You can't. It's all you do is talk about your grievances and who did you wrong. There's a reason you're by yourself. There's a reason you got to pay a man to love you. It's sad. There's an old adage that says you can't buy love. It's a shame, Monique, that you probably always will have to.
Wow. DL, okay. So, wow, that last line hurt my feelings, and he wasn't even talking about me. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it, right? So, He calls Monique a liar. But see, here's the thing, right? Monique said that she has the receipts. And she said that she had to actually contact her lawyer to get a cease and desist because of the inappropriate questions that his team was asking. So if you guys remember from the from the Club Shay Shay interview, what ended up happening was she went on his show, and his co-host Jasmine was asking her if she wanted to play a game. Now DL wasn't even there. Okay, that would have been my first red flag. Like if you guys are fellow comedians, you know you have headlined a tour together. He must really not rock with her at all for him not to even be on his own show while Monique is there. But she goes on the show, and Jasmine says, "Would you rather sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom? With your husband? I'm sorry, sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom, or Corinne Steffens without one?" Now, Onika's like, "What kind of question is that?" And that's a valid response. Like, bro, what? And why would you be asking Monique about what her husband would do? It was just really weird. Like I would have just been like, okay, pass. Can we go on to the next? But she got her lawyers involved, and I feel like that's the reason why it didn't air, not because DL, finally got a conscience or whatever. She said she called him, and he was real dismissive. Like he said here, he was like, "Yeah, what?" There's something about the way Monique conveys her story, and it could be, a lot of it rooted in childhood trauma. We're all trying to heal, most of us, right, from childhoods where we were essentially powerless. But Monique has had her own issues with, her brother in that story with Oprah bringing out her family, and her brother violating her at a young age. So I don't think that she would make that up. I really, truly don't. And the fact that DL said that he had a side piece, on his wife, and that he was happy. This man celebrated when that precious baby was not here, passed away. That's dark. Okay. That is dark. So, yeah, Monique went on Club Shay Shay. She told her story. She aired her grievances, and I'm glad that could be part of her healing journey. Maybe this is a part of DL's healing journey. He sounds really mad, though. He doesn't sound like he's looking, for healing. See, Monique didn't sound, it wasn't like vitriolic. You know what I mean? Like there was nothing malicious in her delivery. It was kind of lighthearted. That could have been the cognac. but she just sounded very, like she was joking. I did watch her new Netflix special. I did agree it wasn't the greatest. It wasn't my favorite from her, but I would like to see her use this for, this momentum that she's gained from being on Club Shay Shay to propel her career forward, right? I don't hear anything from DL besides him being constantly airing grievances. He's always talking about, racism, and he's always talking about, which is valid, but he right here, he's giving old man shouting out at the cloud vibes. He really is. And I need both of them to let that concert where they were trying to both headline. Okay, that I don't want to hear either of them. I don't know why they couldn't have just, rotated if they were touring multiple cities. She closed one show, in one city. He closed the next show in another city. Like that's what co-headliners, do. But they're still arguing about this 50, 11 years later, and don't nobody really care. The audience, to be honest, as long as you give the audience a good show, no one really cares about who comes on last. I mean, that's just I've never heard one person who enjoys comedy or who enjoys music or who enjoys, entertainment say, well, I wish that this person would came out for a second, third, or whoever. If you are talented and if you are giving them a good show, to us, it doesn't matter the order. It only matters, when it comes to ego and to the artists and the comedians. But yeah, He didn't have to drop that last line about her paying a man to love her. DL, this is her third marriage. She said she really feels like, though, it's her first because this is the first time she's ever been in love. I love seeing Monique in love. You know, she really has a great appreciation for her husband, as opposed to DL, who was very public about him stepping out on his wife. So, um, you know, stones and glass houses and all that. But let me know your thoughts on what he said on his response. Drop down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and I will talk with you later. Have a good night, Aces. Take care. Bye.